Sorry, there was some commotion going on before we started recording. Miss Flo is with me off over here on my blanket. So I had to have my kid bring me another blanket because we were at the pool all day and I'm just in like a t-shirt dress, but it's very short. So don't watch anything inappropriate on YouTube, and we got our arms out today. I think I want to do a full moon reading, but I'm going to do that later in the week, closer to the full moon. I posted some things on the community page about the full moon and working with the full moon, so definitely check that out. I'm probably going to post some more stuff. I think I may have forgotten to post the pictures from last time's reading, so I will do that. But I thought I would do a reading. Do I want my pillow? Yeah, let's get the pillow out here for this. I don't know why my 13-year-old a while back wanted a cat tarot. It is not something I was particularly drawn to, but he had seen one at a local shop that we go to. When we went back to find it, they didn't have that specific one, but they had the Caticorn, and he liked this, so we bought it. I've worked with it a couple of times, but it's by no means my go-to deck. But for some reason I was really drawn to it last night because, I don't know, I wanted something fun and playful and whimsical, and this deck is definitely that. And I felt like tonight I was thinking, what deck should I use? And I was still feeling drawn to this. So let's go with the whimsy of the Caticorn. And maybe, I don't know, maybe that's a message in of itself, that let whimsy kind of guide you this week, you know? There's so much happening globally. There's so much happening for those of us who are in the US, and we certainly can't ignore that or turn away from it. But I think also we do have to find the moments of whimsy when and where we can. And, you know, so we can survive the nonsense happening. Which we will not get into at this point in this reading, but there's a lot of shit going down and it's not cool. And if anybody wants to join me in, I don't know, doing some things with jars, might be a good idea. Wink, wink. But anyway, I just want to do a little check-in, just kind of see where we're at, what we're doing, what's going on. It's been a pretty uneventful weekend. Like I said, the pool opened and my kids love the pool. I love the pool. I love this time of year where I can still touch my skin at this time of night and still feel that warmth of the sun on it. Of course, everybody wear your sunscreen. Yeah, I'm really drawn to the sun right now and working with solar energy. And I think, the sun does so much. The sun in and of itself can be restorative, and obviously it can be damaging too, but so can water. And, you know, the moon is, you know, ruled by water. You know, and the water is very restorative. It can also be very damaging. So I think it's everything within, you know, moderation. And so if you are able to be in the sun, and if you can get out and spend any amount of time in the sun, 5 minutes or, you know, more, I don't know, I think it just helps with the mood. It helps, you know, even if you're not working to harness it in a magical way, just in and of itself, it has a lot of power. So, okay, we're gonna do, what do we need to embrace? What do we need to accept? What do we need to let go for this week? What do we need to embrace? Okay. drawing from the top lately? And what do we need to ignore? Okay. Ah, shoot, I totally forgot. Okay. Okay. I forgot once again that I'm recording with my phone and I don't have a way to read the cards. So, and again, if you're new, I am blind. And so I need, I have an app that can scan the cards and tell me what they are. It's not interpreting for me, okay? It's just telling me what the frickin' card is. Sorry, I'm just thinking how I want to do it. Hey, Declan! I need a way to read the cards.
You called?
Well, okay, well, since you're here, what's this?
The Chariot.
Okay, what's this one?
The Hermit.
Oh, what's this one?
Death.
Okay, that's all. Go, hey, go, what are you doing?
Just fixing it.
Okay, go ask Dad if I can have his work phone first so I can use Seeing AI. Okay, thank you. Okay, so. What we need to embrace is the Chariot. What we need to accept is the Hermit. And what we need to release is death. All right, let me sit with this for a minute. What?
You have to use my personal phone.
Why?
Because Seeing AI, for whatever reason, will not work on my work phone. I've reinstalled it, I've checked all the settings, it will not work. So,
Well,
no, it's fine, just take my info.
no, he already told me the cards anyway.
Oh.
Anyway, sorry about that. That's the Alex. Okay. Guys, it's a whole thing. Okay, just whatever. Okay. I think we're being asked to embrace. You know, honestly, I think when I said, find the whimsy this week, that's actually coming to mind now with the Chariot is, embracing opportunities, but not even necessarily big things, but just the moments of whimsy, the moments of joy. I just heard the moments of expansion, whatever that might mean to you. If there's a goal you've been wanting to meet or to start working towards, maybe this is a week to take some action. And that could be anything. That could be work related. It could be a creative project. It could be I don't know, cleaning the house, you know? I'm thinking, like, I keep saying I'm gonna go through my closet because I do have a lot of things I need to, Goodwill, and I just haven't done it because my closet is super hot. It's like super hot. There's no air conditioning in there, and I have a walk-in closet, so but so it can be that mundane, but sometimes, I don't know, sometimes doing those mundane things just brings a fresh breath of air, a new perspective. Sometimes it's a metaphorical way of letting go of the old and bringing in the new. Sometimes magic is that simple. But yeah, I think we're just being asked to embrace this week. Ooh, flow. I heard flow. I think action, but not for the sake of action. Not for the sake of being busy, or because sometimes I think taking action is slowing down. I know traditionally the Chariot is about quicker movement, but maybe for somebody, taking action is stopping to pause and and here, smell the roses, to just be in flow. And I know, like, when people say that, it's like, well, what the fuck does that mean? But just for me, it means like literally thinking of how I am connected to the planet, and I almost like envision myself like sort of breaking into these particles, these pixels, if you will, and physically watching them go out into the world and how they collide with other particles moving around. And hi, baby. And then watching them come back to me. It's almost like I'm sending myself through like a filtration system to like cleanse, and then it all comes back to me. I know, because I just have this like very refreshed feeling about it. But anyway, maybe taking time to pause and reflect and meditate, but it doesn't have to be that deep. Just, I don't know, just breathe and see what's happening. Like, maybe that's the action you need to take. But yeah, I think we're being asked to just embrace the whimsy, not follow this capitalist structure that says we have to always be in production mode, that we don't have to constantly be physically doing things just because that's what we've been told we should be doing, but really thinking about the whimsical things, what brings you joy, and finding those moments. And like I said at the beginning, with the heaviness happening right now in the world, finding those moments, those little moments of joy and whimsy, so that the heaviness doesn't pull us down to the point where we can't address that heaviness and try to do what we can in every little way we can to disperse it. So I think that's what we're being asked to embrace this week, is just a flow, and recognizing opportunities when they present themselves, even if they're small, that are going to bring us some joy or some stability. Okay, moving on to, my nose is itching, what we need to accept, and that's the Hermit. I think we all need to accept that we're in a transition period, and There's so much happening. The word transition is really standing out to me. I think as the world is experiencing these growing pains, to say it lightly, I think we're also in a way experiencing something similar. I think we're being asked to accept that as many of us are not exactly where we want to be in our personal lives, neither is the outside world where it needs to be in any conceivable way. Obviously way more so than us in our personal lives. And so we need to really find stillness and my nose. I think figure out what is important to us and where, so I'm making a really weird thing with my mouth. I was gonna say a word and I stopped, and I'm just having a lot of things come at me right now as I think on this. The world's really hurting right now. And as I always say, a part of being a source of light in the world is shining that light into the darkness and using it to expose the rot, using it to expose the people and the systems that are causing the suffering, that are causing the pain, that are causing the hurt. And particularly those of us who have more privilege. And again, privilege doesn't mean you don't have it hard, but it means that, like for me, as a white, feminine presenting person, I'm not going to experience the world in the same way as somebody with different identities. Even as a disabled woman, I still am perceived differently than a different body with my same disability, if that makes sense. But my whole point is just that where can we use our privilege, for those of us with privilege, like where can we use it to help people? I think that the Hermit is asking us to accept the fact that we play a role in how the world gets structured next. We can actively be a part of dismantling systems, or we can be complicit in upholding them. And I know that's a really hard thing to hear, but you know, one, I go where the cards tell me to go. You know, I'm the reader. You know, this is not me coming in with some preset agenda and what I'm going to talk about. I pull the cards and then I intuit what they want me to tell you. So, but also this is fucking important. And if you watched other videos on my channel, you know that I believe this is important. I think that everything is inherently political. And so to say like, oh, well, I'm not political, I don't like to be involved in that, but you are, because everything is political. I think that, and by the way, Isha, the activist witch, has some really great content on that. I will try and remember to post links. in the description, and I might pin a comment too. But like, where are we taking the time to focus energy outside of ourselves? And I don't mean in an unhealthy, toxic way, giving too much, and not getting that reciprocated. That's not what I'm talking about. I am talking about using our passion, our creativity, our voice, our magic to effect change in the world. Yeah, I think we're being asked this week to accept that we are all necessary to the cog of change. And that doesn't mean that everybody has to, go stand at a rally and, go to a protest, which are great. And if you can do that and that's in your capabilities, do that. But I'm also saying that, like, even just small things, don't, making a one-time small donation to an organization that's doing great work. Sharing information online. Having a hard conversation with somebody who says something that is not right, is not, and I don't mean argue for the sake of arguing. And obviously you have to discern if I don't get into conversations like this with people who I know, like, they have no intention of really listening to me, but sometimes, that is the thing, that, right, is having a conversation with somebody, particularly those who are close to us, about, hey, this thing really bothers me, and here is why. When you talk like this, it is perpetuating this, whatever it may be. But yeah, I think the Hermit is asking us to accept, I just heard responsibility, and the role that we play in how current systems and structures either get perpetuated, sorry, Florissa snoring, or, dismantled. So, that's really loud. I don't know if you can hear that. But anyway, so yeah, I think that's what we're being asked. Wow, thank you, Hermit. That was powerful, and not always easy to hear, but I think that's very important for us to think about. And what we need to release, death. Let me sit with this for a minute. I don't read reversals. I don't take reversals, but obviously there's oh my God, my nose. There's a variety of meanings for each card, and there can also be inverse meanings. Releasing death. I just heard releasing destruction. And, excuse me, to me, I think it is, where are we refusing to budge? Where does change need to come, that we're very resistant to? Like, where is the resistance, and where can we let that resistance go? Death comes in to transform, to rebirth, to bring new things. You literally change into something new. You go through, the furnace, and you come out refined. Where are we hold on, I just, no, I'm being directed in a different direction here. Oh, yeah, okay, okay. Yep, okay, sorry, I'm having a conversation in my head. Oh, baby. What I started saying is very true, you know, not being so resistant to where you feel led, but I think what we're being asked to release is the idea that we are somehow inherently not right. That something within us is just not where it should be, not what we want it to be, and this could come in a lot of different forms. Do you feel you've not accomplished certain goals by this point in your life? Let that go. There's no, again, it's very much based on these sort of capitalistic patriarchal ideas that we should have met certain goals by a certain point in our life. It's really BS. And that's been a hard thing for me to let go of and learn, but we accomplish things when we accomplish them, and sometimes some of us have to go on a detour, but that's necessary for the growth. There's things that had I accomplished them at the point I thought I needed to, I wouldn't have been mature enough, I wouldn't have been grounded enough to really have enjoyed them or, you know, I'm just going to give this as an example. So when I was a performer and I got into a performing arts school in New York City, and you know, I was all set to go. That was going to be a thing. I was going to New York City. I was going to the school. I was going to, you know, up to this point, I just had performed, you know, locally and regionally in stage productions. So that was the plan, and I literally, like, months before I was supposed to leave is when I got really sick, and long sob story, but you know, I was sick for a long time. I almost died, and that's when I started losing my vision, and I just, you know, at that point was really reevaluating, reassessing. Had I gone to New York, had I started, you know, in that direction, I think the same outcome would have happened with my body, but it would have been 10 times worse because I would have been in a city where I didn't know anybody. Yeah, I mean, this is a very dramatic example that I'm giving, but at that time, had I done that, and I was in a really, like, there were so many things that, you know, I was truly not ready for that opportunity. My health was in a horrible place. My mental health was not great. The things that I thought were important, you know, turns out they really weren't. And, you know, I was a fortunate person that, you know, a higher presence was like, this is gonna be 10 times, like, I probably would have died. You know, let's be real. So, you know, I was kind of, in a way, like, you know, as I look back at it now, I understand I was being protected. So I can still be here now. But again, that's a very dramatic example. But my point is that we all reach goals. And now like, I literally within the last couple of years this has happened, but I don't have the same drive towards that goal anymore. And it had shifted into directing, like writing and directing, which I had done some of, but just the last couple of years, I just don't feel the same pull in that direction. And but it took time, it took detours for me to get there. So, that's just an example of how don't be stuck in this, idea of what the timeline has to be. I think also, accept you for who you are, inside and outside. You do not need to physically change to be loved. You are as lovable, sorry, my nose. You are as lovable and as valuable, and I don't care what size you are. And I want everybody to understand that. If that is something you are struggling with, and trust me, it is not easy to just release. But in any small way, if you can take steps towards finding, reprogramming this idea that our bodies have to look and be a certain way in order to be loved and accepted, it's not true. It's not true. And if people treat you like that, then they're not people we want in our lives. So yeah, I think death is, you think you're not smart enough, let that go. Whatever your hang up is about yourself, I think that's what we're being asked to do. Let it go, release it, because we are, our ability to make money and to produce and to fit into certain patriarchal standards, none of it is real. None of it is real. None of it is based on human biology. We're being asked to release that and to move forward, knowing that we are wonderful the way we are, wonderful the way we are created. And that doesn't mean we don't accomplish things, we don't set goals and don't create things, but not because we think we have to, or not because we're told to, but because we want to, because we're driven, right? And I think that even once we reframe all that and understand that truly quantity and quality are not the same thing, we even find a different way in which then we do produce and create. Yeah, I think that's what we're being asked to release this week. This one a little longer than I wanted, but I hope someone finds this and it's helpful for you. Take time this week to find the whimsy, to just, just marvel in something. Understand that we all play a role in how the world moves forward, and whatever small steps we can take to bring about change, think on that, and how you can incorporate that into your life, because some of us we haven't always done activism and things like that, and you don't have to become a full-time activist, but how can you start thinking in a perspective that is putting action where your words are as well, and accepting that we all are a part of this system, and if we don't do something, even as small as it might be, we only perpetuate the system. We don't change it. And then just let go of the shit in our heads that tells us we're not enough, that tells us we're not lovable, not valuable, that let go of the mindset that says, well, you haven't done this, you haven't accomplished this, just all the things, let that go. Just see what happens when you let it go. When those thoughts come up, try putting in a new thought. maybe that's everybody's challenge this week. Like, one? Think of one thing about yourself that you think is fucking fantastic. Yeah. I'll put some journal prompts with these, because I think journaling is a really good way to process and a really good way to figure shit out. I know for me, like, I'll journal kind of like start one way, and then for me, journaling kind of starts to take a mind of its own, you know, like all my writing does. But yeah, release the fear. I just heard that. Release the fears. Just release all the bullshit and understand that you are loved, you are valuable, you are capable, and that you don't have to live by some capitalistic patriarchal timeline that says, oh, if you didn't do this by this point, you failed. That's bullshit. So, I hope this is helpful for somebody. And, oh, I won't put these away yet because I will take a picture of these and post them with some journal prompts. And yeah, stay tuned at some point this week. Obviously before the 31st, I will do a reading. We'll kind of take a look at, I think, what is the full moon revealing for us. We'll do something there. I kind of want to try a pick a card. I've never done it before, but I kind of want to try it. Like, I just feel like it's something that I'm being challenged with. I don't think I'll do it this week, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I can work that out. That's gonna be a lot, but I'm feeling, I don't know, I'm kind of feeling inspired to try that. So we'll see. But anyway, all my beautiful, lovely people, thank you for anybody watching this. If you enjoyed it, please like, please subscribe. I appreciate all that. If you think of somebody who might benefit from this, go ahead, share it. But I thank you and I love you all so much. And as we start this final week of May, I can't believe it's the final week of May. I just send so much love and joy to everybody. And, you know, also remember, let's keep the good fight going, and you know, really highlight the people and the groups and the organizations that need highlighting right now for the hard work that they're doing to keep us all from falling into a hell pit. So but anyway, I hope you all have a great last week of May. Love you.